Thus, we get a closed model in which everything starts with the value growth and ends with an even higher price. The biggest wave of interest so far among developers and companies, which was 10 times higher than the previous activity. And its price surge is expected in 2021 or 2022. Glad to welcome you to the Coin Post channel. If I say that the Bitcoin price has been steadily increasing throughout this history, they are gonna throw stones at me, especially those who joined the crypto community in 2018 and 2019 and had to survive the harshest crypto winter. But Bitcoin is already 11 years old. If you look at its history for the period, you'll see that it really goes up, and it's stable too. And it's not just my observation or something. It's made by the analysts of the US venture capital fund Andreessen Horowitz. They published a study in which they determined the existence of Bitcoin cycles, built a model for its value growth, and found that the cryptocurrency market is growing steadily. In this video, we're gonna analyze the Andreessen Horowitz report, and in the end, I will draw my own conclusions based on their work. Join our community. Subscribe to the channel right now. Let's begin. Based on a study of Bitcoin and its associated ecosystem, cryptocurrency analysts from Andreessen Horowitz built the following value growth model. The price increase leads to a new interest. More and more people learn about Bitcoin. They include those who are not just gonna buy and keep it, but also have ideas for improving the cryptocurrency infrastructure. The best example would be Vitalik Buterin, who first became interested in the original Bitcoin and then became the founder of Ethereum. Then, the idea gives birth to new projects, which include new cryptocurrencies, markets, currency exchange stores, and other services. This, in turn, stimulates the interest in Bitcoin that's becoming more widespread. New people come to the industry and push the price up to the new maximum. Thus, we get a closed model in which everything starts with the value growth and ends with an even higher price. And as for me, Andreessen Horowitz managed to figure out a somewhat comprehensible and well-organized model, based on which we can explain the periodic price spikes that we call to the moon. But they believe crypto cycles don't take place from one to the moon to another, but they are divided into periods of activity of the community and developers. How exactly? More on this coming up. According to their methodology, the first cycle of Bitcoin lasted from 2009 to 2012. In the middle of it, there was the first serious price surge, after which many people realized that Bitcoin could be a financial instrument. Then, the first well-organized miners, trading platforms, and wallets appeared on the market, and their activity did not reduce after the price drop. On the contrary, they continued to work on the development of the industry, and it bore fruit. The second cycle lasted from 2012 to 2016, and as analysts point out, the main and most famous crypto projects were created at the time. Here, the analysts mentioned Ethereum, and I want to say a few words about Ripple with their XRP token. They were created in 2012, and Andreessen Horowitz was among the first to invest in this project. But apparently, they were too modest and didn't make a big deal out of it. As we see on the chart, as soon as the Bitcoin exchange rate marked $1,000 for the first time in history, the activity in the community among developers and companies has sharply increased. And the third cycle, which is more familiar to the majority of the crypto community, lasted from 2017 to 2019. In the middle of it, December 2017, Bitcoin was traded for $20,000. After that, there was the biggest wave of interest so far among developers and companies, which was 10 times higher than the previous activity. The report showed that during this third cycle, cryptocurrencies became a full-fledged industry. But I guess all of you are wondering whether they're gonna be the next, fourth cycle, right? More about it coming up. Do you know what I like about this report? It's a very, well, just enormously long disclaimer. We usually put it in simple words, saying this video is not a financial recommendation, and before you buy anything, you must gather information from different sources, check them, and draw your own conclusions. The only thing I can totally recommend is subscribing to our channel. And don't forget to click the bell not to miss our new videos. I promise you're gonna find it fascinating and useful at the same time. At the end of the report, they give compound annual growth rates for each metric from 2010 to the present. According to this data, the industry develops differently each year, but in the long term, we see the Bitcoin price increase by 196%, an increase in social activity by 207%, and an increase in the involvement of developers and companies by 74% and 55% respectively. Analysts from Andreessen Horowitz were obviously greedy about the Bitcoin price increase throughout the history, as it's measured in thousands of percent. But this is their study, so let them think all they want. I want to draw your attention to the fact that their model, when price increase generates interest in the industry and creates a new maximum value, has already worked twice. According to these cycles, we are now at the beginning of the third one, and its price surge is expected in 2021 or 2022, just in time for Bitcoin to go to the moon, according to most forecasts. And I would like to point out one more thing. During the first cycle, they built an entire infrastructure around Bitcoin. In the second one, they created new cryptocurrencies we cannot imagine the market without. The third cycle was the heyday of all kinds of services: exchanges, wallets, games, and decentralized finance. Moreover, the first regulated trading platforms appeared, such as SME and Bakkt. In my opinion, this trend is going to continue and become the primary one in the current cycle. It also means cryptocurrencies will be coming out of the shadows. If previously cryptocurrencies proved to be a full-fledged, self-sufficient industry, now is the time to finally get out of the shadows and compete with traditional financial markets. How do you like my assumption? Share in the comments. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching. It's the Coin Post channel. Subscribe and get enlightened.